Grimm's Fairy Tales, The Fisherman and His Wife. Once upon a time, there was a poor fisherman who lived in a small hut by the sea with his wife. They were struggling to make ends meet, and their life was simple but harsh. They had little to eat, and their home was humble, yet they made do with what they had. One day, while fishing in the sea, the fisherman caught a large magical fish. The fish spoke to him and begged for its life, saying that if he let it go, it would grant him a wish. The fisherman, surprised by the talking fish, let it go without asking for anything in return. The wife's greed. When the fisherman told his wife about the talking fish and the wish, she was not satisfied with his decision to let it go without asking for anything. She was frustrated with their poor living conditions and immediately told him to go back to the fish and ask for something better. Reluctantly, the fisherman returned to the sea and called out to the fish. The fish answered, and the fisherman requested a small cottage for them to live in. The fish granted the wish, and the fisherman returned home to find their simple hut transformed into a charming cottage, much to the delight of his wife. However, this was only the beginning. The wife's increasing demands. Despite their improved living situation, the wife became unhappy again. She wanted more. She wanted a grander house, more luxury, and more status. She told her husband to go back to the fish and ask for a bigger house. The fisherman reluctantly went to the sea again, and this time, he asked the fish for a large, magnificent house. The fish granted the wish, and they now lived in a grand home. But the wife was still not satisfied. She wanted even more. Her greed grew, and she began to ask for things that were far beyond what they truly needed. She ordered the fisherman to ask the fish for a palace, and when that was given to them, she demanded even more power. She told her husband to ask the fish for the title of queen. The fish's warning. The fisherman, uneasy about his wife's increasing greed, began to hesitate. The fish, sensing the situation, warned him that he should be careful with what his wife asked for. The fisherman did not listen to the warning, and as he kept returning to the fish for more, his wife's demands grew more outrageous. The final request. Finally, the wife told the fisherman to ask the fish for the ultimate power. She wanted to become the emperor of the world. The fisherman was reluctant, but ultimately did as she requested. He went to the sea and asked the fish to grant her wish, but when he returned home, he found that everything was gone. Their magnificent palace was destroyed, and they were back in the same old, dilapidated hut they had started with. The lesson of the story. The fisherman's wife, having asked for too much, had lost everything. The fish had taken everything back because of the wife's unrelenting greed. They were left with nothing, and the moral of the story became clear. Greed leads to ruin. The wife's insatiable desire for more had taken away all the blessings they had received.